Now I just want to speak about hitting the drums and ways that you shouldn't hit the drums and ways that it is nice and healthy to hit the drums. When I started playing, I just picked up the sticks pretty much like a caveman, and I just started hitting the poo out of my drums like really loud, and my wrists got really sore and I didn't know why that was. And I think I kind of maybe did a little bit of damage, but hopefully not too much. But I had no idea that when you hit something with a stick, there is a lot of energy. I know it sounds stupid, but when you hit something with a stick and you use a lot of force, then there's a lot of energy. In this case, the drum really reacts to the point of contact, which in most cases is the tip of the stick. So think about it this way, that if I really hit the snare extremely loud, then there's a lot of energy that's created between the contact of the drum to the stick, the point of the stick, and then all that energy travels down the stick because it needs to go somewhere. And if you are holding the stick right there, then all that energy goes right into your hand and into your wrist and into your arm. And that's not an incredibly bad and totally wrong thing. Just be aware of that. So if you're gripping really tightly and there's no movement in your wrist and you're doing that 100 times a song, hitting the snare really, really hard, and all that energy just keeps going into a really stiff and unrelaxed wrist, that's not good for you at all. That is really unhealthy, and that's actually a lot of damage, I think, to wrists and the small little muscles in your arms and your fingertips. So just be aware of the fact that there's a lot of energy. So you shouldn't grip the sticks like Cobus from 8 years ago did, like a caveman. The sticks should breathe, and there should be places for the energy to kind of get dissipated from. I think the most healthy way of holding the stick would be just so that the butt end of the stick kind of is just outside your hand, so that the energy gets dissipated outside and goes out the back of the stick. I don't know if that actually happens. I can hear some scientists laughing manically in the back of my head, maybe because I'm totally messing up physics, but that's just the way that my head works. It just seems like the energy is dissipated in other ways and not straight into your hand if you kind of grip the stick a little bit more to the front. Something to be really aware of as well is the fact that the drums respond to the tips of the stick. So if you grip the stick like a caveman does, then you get none of that response. So even if the skin hits the stick back, like gives you a nice response, then if you grip the stick like this, then none of that is of any use to you, because you're kind of just dead in the stick. I know with rim shots that I love to play, there isn't a lot of that kind of free stroke bounce back action that the skin provides, but it's still so important to be aware of the fact that the skins really bounce the stick back. There's a lot of energy, and you shouldn't just absorb every little ounce of that energy into your sticks and ultimately into your wrists and your fingers. So just be aware of the fact that drums are really like a primal, powerful thing, and especially if you're a hard hitter, you can do some serious damage to yourself if you're not aware of the fact that you should hit the drums healthily. I don't know if that makes any sense, because I mean, we're hitting things with sticks here, but I think it just takes the small little things to keep in the back of your mind that'll help you avoid injury and get a lot better tone out of the drums if you don't kill the sticks on the drums with every single stroke. Another thing to be especially aware of is the fact that you need to use your wrists. I know that in some videos I play like a robot because my arms do a lot of work, but that's just because I get really into it. But in terms of dynamics and groove and feel and what is efficient, it really helps so much if you use your wrists. And it's kind of this whipping action. So you're not using this whole front part of your arm, everything up from the elbow to kind of create the motion. You're not playing like a robot, but it's really cool if you start using kind of a whipping motion. So you push the stick towards the head with kind of this whipping motion that starts from your shoulder down to your elbow, and then your hand just kind of whips the stick into the head. That's so much more efficient. It just creates, for me, a lot better sound with a lot less energy. You don't have to use your whole arm, everything down from your shoulder. So the whipping motion is really important to create strokes with just as much power while using a lot less energy. So it's a lot more efficient.